Welcome back. Now, despite the evidence, despite the incredible ridicule, and perhaps because of Lou Dobbs, the birther movement has not died away. Instead, more and more birthers are popping up all over the place, like at this town hall meeting.
Why are you people ignoring his birth certificate?
Now, the congressman getting heckled there is a Republican, and he goes on to say, amid much booing, that he in fact believes Obama is a born US citizen. But increasingly, it seems that many of his constituents do not. A recent poll shows that only 42% of Republicans believe that Obama is a US citizen, while 28% believe he is not, and 30% say they just aren't sure. And increasingly, the naysayers are making their voices heard. And where the voters go, at least some politicians are bound to follow. There is now a bill in the US Congress that requires that future presidential candidates show their birth certificate before running for president. And that's a direct result of the furor kicked up by the birthers. And true to form, the Republican Party seems to have once again put its foot firmly in its mouth.
Are coming around on this issue, not even coming around, have sensed the right position on this. And look, Barack Obama has been elected president of the United States.
Did you deliberately do that?
No, I did not deliberately do that. That was a mistake. But
why would that even come to your mind?
Why would that come out of your mouth?
You know, because I was thinking about his name, and I was thinking he should have stuck with Barry as he had when he was growing up. And maybe he wouldn't have this
That is a repulsive thing to say.
No,
he should stick with the name?
Why would he stick? Alex,
that is repulsive, sir.
Well, hold on. Let's all have a sense of humor here, okay? Let's not get too wound up, okay? The bottom line is he's got a name.
Let's not get too wound up by an argument people are making that could be perceived as racist or implicating or implying that the president is somehow a terrorist or a terrorist sympathizer.
And he should have kept his name. He didn't have the right to change his name.
Part of the reason may be that the Republican Party, battered by 8 years of Bush, a resounding election defeat, and, well, Sarah Palin, is struggling to find any way or means to define itself, even if that means embracing the lunatic fringe.
But here's where I think there is a story to report, if anything, about this, because I'm open-mouthed that it's gotten this much attention. And that is the pressure that's being brought to bear by certain Republicans, by some of the people in these groups, to address it. That, to me, is an interesting story. That, you know, is there a pressure from these groups brought to the Republicans who are struggling to try to find where they're going to go in terms of leadership and where they want to be as a base and as a party? And that, to me, is a story. But the rest of this is crazy.
You guys are playing to the wacko ring. Now, I'm glad that you've just left the band of merry men and women who are out there jumping up at hearings of people like Mike Cassa, who is a normal person, and raising what is really not a good question to raise. Now,
so what's going on with the GOP? Well, Eric Bolhertz of Media Matters is still with us, so let's put that question to him. Now, Eric, the smart money says that if this whole birth thing was an issue, then either Hillary Clinton or John McCain would have picked up on it during the election campaign. But that didn't happen. Still, we've got these numbers that a large majority of Republicans don't believe that Obama was in fact born in the United States of America. So what's going on with the Republicans?
Well, I mean, it's not just disturbing for you, it's disturbing for everyone who lives, you know, a lot of people who live here as well. But, I mean, the thing you have to keep in mind is it's still a relatively small slice of the pie. I mean, on cable news in America, you're a huge success if you have 2 million viewers, you know, and that's a country out of 300 million. Same with talk radio. You know, the fact is that, you know, the vast majority of Americans never listen to this stuff. They don't watch Fox News, et cetera, et cetera. The problem, though, is that hate speech does sort of affect the larger conversation. Even if you don't watch Fox, even if you don't listen to Sean Hannity during the day, that stuff does sort of seep in, and it does corrode the larger conversation. So, you know, they don't necessarily dictate the conversation. I mean, look, Barack Obama won in an electoral landslide last year, and the right-wing radio and Fox News hated him. They wouldn't stop attacking him, and you know, a strong majority of Americans didn't pay any attention, and they elected Barack Obama. So it's important to understand that they are a vocal minority, but even so, there's no question, I think, that it's a dangerous situation.
And on that note, we come to the end of our show for this week. Questions, comments, suggestions go to, as always, cs@dawnnews.tv. Until next week, I'm Zaran Khoro, and you've been watching Counterspin.